Oh, hello there, Site42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. Welcome to another Coffee Break with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site42. As always, I am Dr. Theron Sherman, Site Director of Site42, and in the midst of my busy schedule of testing and containing anomalies, I also take a little time out of my day each day. In fact, we are 3 days away from a 4-month streak of daily streams. That's right, the streak is strong. But I take a little bit of time out of my day to answer your questions about the SCP Foundation, whether it be about the anomalies we contain, the groups of interest who hate that we contain them, the amazing Foundation staff that does the work of containing these anomalies, and of course, hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that may be outside of the Foundation's purview, whether it be because they're from a different multiverse or a different pataphysical narrative layer, i.e. fandom. And so I'm here to answer your questions for the next hour and a half. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, let me say hello first. Desk, congratulations on being first to the chat. It is your job to be here, but you did it promptly, and we appreciate that at the Foundation. Atticus, congratulations on being the first non-employee to be here. Congratulations. Meanwhile, Senior Researcher Frogman, Scarlet Fox, Chaos Goblin Dogs, Edward Juntunen, Silent Follower, Researcher Voidel, Amber, Chaos, Chesta Factory, Project Unfarmed, Dark Duality. Welcome to all of you to the chat, as well as you, Puppet Boy, and thank you all for being members of the Site42 staff. Meanwhile, Joey Smith, the UIU agent, Tective, the Beholder, and Jazzy Boy. Good to see you guys in the chat, just for being you. We're starting with an opening dono, Orange Cloud. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some chalky milk on your way past the commissary. Hi, what are you humming? The traditional entry to stream hum is the It's not Gravity Thongs. It's not Gravity Farms. It's Gravity Frickin' Falls. It's a little hot in the laboratory today, so excuse a little delusion on my end as I try to survive. Gravity Farms remembers. Thanks, Desk. Yes, Gravity Falls is a very SCP Foundation-like universe, except we are not there to handle it, so everything's chaos. But it's still a good time. Gravity Thongs. Is that like a push-up bra? Okay, Edward, that's pretty good. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, so before we get too deep into the stream, let me start by explaining the title. So, if you are an adherent of the social medias such as Twitter and Blue Sky and Threads, you may be familiar with a comic artist by the name of Shen Comix. Shen Comix, very popular on social media. Good art, fun sketches. It's a good time. I mean, nearly 1 million followers on Twitter can't be wrong, even if they're still dealing with Twitter and its terribleness. Us artists who have to keep our social medias active, it's very frustrating, to be sure. Can't wait until that guy ODs on ketamine and passes out. I mean, what? What? I said nothing and you couldn't prove it with any recordings that may or may not have been done. Anyways. Shen has revealed that Shen is currently under Foundation containment. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures. Contain it like a normal guy, just like, don't get him started on early 2000s RPG Maker games. He will talk your ear off. Shen has been beckoning me over to his cell. He seems to want to tell me something. I think I'll walk over. 35 minutes later. I did not need to know all that. So, in that comic, Shen Comix is canonized as an SCP anomaly in containment. I am not going to conflict that. I think it is 100% canon. I believe, therefore, that obviously Shen Comix is well contained. Obviously, we're being very ethical. We have an ethics committee. We're taking good care of the lad. But there were some people, possibly not avid readers of the SCP Wiki, which you guys are Site42 staff. Of course, you avidly read the SCP Wiki's database and all of its anomalies and different codices and guides and resources. That is what you are certain of. Yes? So with that, there were many in the Twitter thread who were confused about why Shen was a Euclid class anomaly. It's because many people who don't pay enough attention to the wiki, they believe that object classes like Safe, Euclid, and Keter refer to the danger of the anomaly rather than the containment difficulty. Can you imagine having such a misguided thought process on the meaning of the words Safe, Euclid, and Keter? Could you even imagine being so misinformed? Oh, that's so comical, and no one in our chat would ever make that mistake. Right? Of course not. Of course not. We're all very, very avid Foundation researchers who would never make such a silly mistake. But I did need to go into the replies a little bit, and I needed to correct some misconceptions, because there are plenty of people saying, wait, why is Shen Comix Euclid? Obviously, it's a comic artist. It's not that dangerous. That's not what it means! And so I went into the replies to make sure that people knew what was going on. And I got ACKSHUAKLLY'D on the meaning of Euclid. They came out and said, actually no, Euclid is the middle, usually meaning it's passive, but can become hostile. I have been covering this fandom for 10 years on YouTube. And you actually me? Please do not do anything that amounts to harassing or brigading or even bothering this person. I answered in reply. It was funny. I'm just having a laugh. They obviously don't know who I am, and that's fine. I'm not known by everybody on the internet. It's just really funny to be ACKSHUAKLLY'D about the SCP Foundation in my current setting and scenario. So yes, that is the sum of my morning, and I thought you all would find that very entertaining. Let the memes commence. Meanwhile, coming back to the chat, I have never asked, are you an SCP? You seem to know a lot about these things. Well, interns Chris and Susie, I am just a normal, average, non-anomalous human being and site director here at the SCP Foundation. I am not at all anomalous in any way, and you can go onto the SCP database and check that I'm not an SCP. I've never been classified as one in an SCP article. I am simply a researcher, containment specialist, and site director, but not at all anomalous, nor is my pen anomalous. My pen, not anomalous at all. Just a random, normal, everyday pen for a normal, random, everyday site director. Not at all anomalous. The reason I know so much about the Foundation is because I work here and I contain anomalies. That's the only reason. Silent Follower, thank you for 3 separate donations, including your first one. So grab yourself some chai tea with boba on your way past the commissary. Thank you for 3 different Laughing Corgi donations. I hope you did those on purpose and it wasn't a multi-post. But if it was on purpose, then I am glad you are so amused by my rantings and ramblings. That seems to be the theme around here. Then how can you talk to an author entity? Project Unfarmed, don't get into me about pataphysics right now, because those authors up there, they can do all sorts of things. I can't communicate with the author. Only the author can make my ears start to ring and possibly nose and eyes start bleeding as it attempts to speak through me like a dick. Selma Beatrice, thank you for being a member and also for gifting 5 memberships to the Site 42 staff here. And make sure to thank Selma if you got one of those memberships. The battle against the white names continues. Also, I Like Tree and Big Money and Nestor and Ishi. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. I fill up a thermos with Dr. Sherman's special coffee order made by 294. Seal the thermos into a canister and send that canister through the new air tubes towards Dr. Sherman's office. Oh? Coffee pour moi? Give me just one moment. I'll go get it from the tubes. Well, I hope you enjoyed your time with Dr. Chair. Ah, delicious. Thank you for the coffee. It's much appreciated. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Insert puppet looking away meme. Sorry, looking away meme. Thank you for donating again to clarify, but what does puppet looking away meme mean? Puppet looking away meme? Puppet looking away. Well, it is a meme. Oh, the monkey. The monkey looking away, I see. Should I have not have trusted the coffee? I'm sure it's fine. Scarlet Fox, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Go ahead and get yourself some espresso on your way past the commissary. 2 things. Crispy, juicy, tender. I just put Dr. Alto Clef into a blender. That must have been a very large blender. Clef is not a small person. Second, hi Doc, I may have lost my pet tarantula. You do not lose spiders at Site 42. You know how I feel about that. You had better find your pet before it becomes a pancake from my stomping. Colt and Missum Kellio, welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Silent Follower, thank you for donating again. Yes, I'm very much amused. Glad to hear it. Half the purpose of these things we do is for entertainment, to keep ourselves sane while we battle the darkness. We got to make sure to have the education, the illumination, and the elucidation with a side of humor. Dr. Sherman, I lost my pet rat at Site 42. See, History Lover, that is way less upsetting to me. Rats are cool. Not spiders, though. Selma, thank you for donating straight up this time, as well as being a member. Grab yourself some flapjacks on the way past the commissary. While he's away, how about we fill his room with cicadas? My dislike of spiders does extend to bugs. I know spiders are not bugs, but they are buggy enough. Keep the cicadas out of my office if you know what's good for you. Marie fanboy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some calamari on your way past the commissary. You heard of the Inkling and Octoling species. So I believe these are from the Splatoon multiverse, if I'm correct. Yes? No, yes. At least the Inklings are. What about the Octolings? Are they still involved with this? Yes, they are still part of it. So yes, I have heard about them. They would definitely be Euclid class anomalies because they are in fact alive, and we just had a whole social media debate about this. And probably we can get them to stay in containment, but use them as maintenance on site for painting the area when we need a touch-up done. I think that would be a very useful use of anomalies. Silent Follower, thank you for donating and laughing corgieing again. And Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. You misunderstand, I didn't spike it this time. I was looking away when you were saying you weren't an SCP. Ah, okay, cool. Thank you for clarifying that my coffee is in fact safe. This time. Now, a quick tangent that I wanted to talk about, because it's annoying me. And it's an SCP-related thing that I want the general public to get on the job of doing, because it needs more attention and it needs more love. But first I need to pull up some documents to prove my case. And so, let me check this. And then let me pull up that. So, the theses. No, it's only one thesis. It's a thesis. It's not multiple theses. The thesis of this next 5 minutes of chat is not enough people are drawing Jeremy Concaid of Vikander Technical Media, aka Victim. Not enough people are drawing Jeremy Concaid, and I want to know why. Because if you look at SCP-7007, codename Misfortune Gorge, it is 3 members of SCP Foundation staff, i.e. Mobile Task Force Alpha 7, Agent Echo, 057, and Researcher Kleiner were kidnapped by Vikander Technical Media and put on a game show of death called Misfortune Gorge. And so 3 members of the Foundation, a researcher, a Mobile Task Force agent, and a freaking overseer were kidnapped by Vikander Technical Media and put on a death game show. And the death game show is hosted by a anomalous entity known as Jeremy Concaid. Oh, Taylorman, you wait until Laugh is Fun comes up, because Laugh is Fun is part of this rant. Jeremy Concaid is described as the host of the show. He is wearing a red and white checkered suit coat, wide black tie over yellow collared shirt, and red slacks. His skin is ashy gray, and his eyes are consistently leaking black, oily tears. He smiles at the camera. His teeth are bloody and stained yellow. He is holding a long, thin microphone measuring approximately 45 centimeters. So, consider this for a moment. Does that guy not sound just as cool as, say, SCP-2030, Laugh is Fun. Laugh is Fun, always seen in the blue suit with very snazzy shoes. Laugh is Fun has all this fan art. It's actually better when you don't show his face because it's on purpose that you don't see the entity's face on camera. Furthermore, does not our friend Jeremy Concaid of Misbornne Gorge, SCP-7007, sound just like a certain, oh my god, how much art do we need of this one tooth-faced ringmaster dude? Where is Jeremy Concaid in the onslaught of amazing host characters art? Huh? I think it's a travesty. I think it's a travesty, and this is my job right here. If Kane from Tadic can have that much art, if Laugh is Fun, an article from the 2000s, can... SCP-2000s, not the years 2000. Although, I think Laugh is Fun was written in the years, in the aughts. Now that's going to bother me if I don't check. SCP-2030, Laugh is Fun, by Pepper's Ghost, posted in 2014. So it wasn't from the aughts, it was from the teens. But, if Laugh is Fun, and Kane can have that much art, our homeboy Jeremy Concaid deserves some too. Misbornne Gorge, Victim, Vicanity Technical Media. It's spelled Kincaid, K-I-N-C-A-I-D. Medicine Man, thank you for the information. You can also go to SCP-7007 because the entity has a lot of conversation. It is literally hosting the show. There are video commercials in this episode. There is... hold on a second. Let me turn this off and bring it up here. There.
At Vikander Need, we believe in equity. Specifically, the equity in your parents' house. We believe in it because we want it. Give us your parents' equity.
Day 7. The weather has turned.
If I can or need technical media, we believe in equity. As in the equity in your parents' house. We want your parents' house. Give us your parents' house. So, yeah, that is just something that's a bug that's been in my bonnet all morning. And I thought I needed to make it everyone else's problem. You're welcome. Where was I? Toxic Purple. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Yeah, he does. I'll draw Jeremy and reread it. Silly boy, that's what heroes do. That's what heroes do. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Yeah, remember that hot cocoa I gave you before your trip? And on your trip you got attacked? And remember what I told you? But that was... How did the hot chocolate cause me to get attacked by multiple SCPs? What did you put in it? What kind of effed up pheromones were in there to summon 1048s all over the place? I'm horrified, but also I'm kind of impressed. And if we could use that to actually bait the entity in containment, I might be not mad about it. We do what we do for science, people. Milky Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some strawberry milk on your way past the commissary. Help, I think I'm an SCP. I can't stop laying eggs, and when they hatch, crazy guys come out and starts eating the walls and people. And the only way to calm them is feeding them onions and lemon juice. I feel like reading that gave me a stroke. Ugh. So, well, I can tell you you are not an SCP because you are not an anomalous entity that has an SCP article written about it. You are an undocumented anomaly, but we could, in fact, put you in a containment cell, and that would make me very happy because I do not want to deal with that ever again. So, yeah, let's just show you to your containment cell and have a good time there forever. Some Neon Blue and Sharpish Fire. Welcome to Site 42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. SCP Pochescu, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some York peppermint patties on your way past the commissary. What if I am homeless and orphan? Well, then you would make a fantastic candidate for D-class personnel. If no one will miss you, we'll put you to work. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Make sure to grab yourself a omelet on your way past the commissary. Do you know about SCP-990? I mean, by database entry number alone, no, but I'll look it up and see if I remember it. Oh yes, the Dream Man. I am quite familiar with the anomalous person who brings warnings of disasters into your dreams, and how we've not been able to contain it or make heads and tails of how it functions. I would like more information on that anomaly on my desk if anyone is looking for a research project to take up from the back channels, or from the backlog. If anyone wants to study 990 for me, I would appreciate some extra intel. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. Bro has memory loss. I told you that you could be hurt, but couldn't die until the day after the attack. Lamau memory loss guy here, am I right? I had to go on so many amnestics to deal with the various cognitohazards I went through experiencing in Florida, so yeah, it's not shocking. Oh, I've been informed by the desk that I need to check the Ko-Fi. Chester Factory, thank you for your Ko-Fi donation, your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some, let's get some red vines on the way past the commissary. Regarding the possible containment procedures for Misbornne that you gave yesterday, I forgot to mention that Misbornne can only burn metals they have ingested. So long as there isn't any metal in the cell they can eat, there won't be an issue. But they are also trained warriors. Yes. So the Magneto strategy that I came up with yesterday, glass cell, no metal, that will work. And I don't care if they're trained warriors. We have mobile task forces for that. And we need to make sure that they are mobile task forces with ceramic guns. That way the Misbornne don't try to eat their guns. Because that would be a problem too. Also, there are non-metal bullets for ceramic guns, right? Ceramic guns have ceramic bullets. Bullets. Yes. So yes, as long as we don't give them metal weapons, they should have a problem holding that down. But thank you for the extra clarification, so we know that our forces who guard the door do need to be CQC trained, just in case. O51, it has been a long time since we've seen you in this chat. Good to see you, and thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself, well, you're still stuck in a database, so maybe instead of going to the commissary, you should just help yourself to a GIF of ice cream being eaten and enjoy that. Still stuck in the database, but at least I found out about weird pen incident. Now question why no one can remember the Department of Abnormalities. Well, the Department of Abnormalities isn't so much forgotten in the same way the Department of Unreality is. Wait, no, am I got this backwards? Department of Abnormalities. There's so many frickin' departments. And then Department of Unreality. The Department of Unreality is the one no one can really remember it exists, along like the Anti-Memetics Division. It's just you see doors for it, but no one seems to work there because if I remember correctly, barely, they only have one employee, a researcher, Alex Thorley. But meanwhile, we have the problem where the Department of Abnormalities is mostly known as a precursor to the Foundation, and we keep finding relics of their prior containment procedures back in the day. And sometimes the anomalies are still contained within. Narinder, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a grilled cheese with bacon on your way past the commissary. Sometimes I dream about attention all personnel. We are experiencing multiple Keter and Euclid containment breaches. Oh yeah, that'll haunt your nightmares after the first couple times you hear it for sure. But you know what? You can go get some amnestics from medical. They will put you through some amnestic therapy. It'll clear you right up. You'll sleep like a baby. Onyx the Artist, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some Skittles on your way past the commissary. I can do anything if I hyperfixate. The do anything anomaly. That is just ADHD, my friend. That is just autism. That is just neurodivergence distilled into do it, but only if you're extremely interested and otherwise not at allness. Half the foundation are the kind of people who work like that. Puppet Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some pork belly skewers on your way past the commissary. Thinking of making a stream chat bingo, adding things like obvious questions, didn't read the articles, 682 already fought that, etc. Any suggestions? Oh boy, stream chat bingo. So SCP-096 has escaped. SCP-682 has escaped. That is one of them. Have you made the tree scream yet? That is a Site-42 specific stream bingo. What about... Am I/my OC an SCP? That is definitely a stream bingo situation. Those a couple for you to get started on, yes. SCP Pochescu, thank you for donating again. Donation spree! Well, thank you all for your generosity as we continue said spree. We appreciate both myself and Desk and our video editors, Charles and Synth, and our Discord moderators as well. All of us appreciate the financial support if you can give. Remember to never give past what you are okay with being able to do. You still got to eat. You still got to pay your rent. But thank you for what you can spare to help out the Site-42 cause. Felix, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a turkey leg on your way past the commissary. I'm sorry, I can't do lore super chats anymore. I must make better money decisions. I must ask one last thing. Is there an email to give a full doc? Well, Felix, don't worry about the lore super chats. As I just literally said, so very convenient, do not overtax yourself financially. It is important you do not do that. It is important you take care of yourself. A little bit here and there is better from a lot of people than one person breaking the bank. We got to take care of all of our people here at the Foundation. Now, what I would do rather than sending it to me in an email, I would start writing your document and your story into an article. You've got so much lore going. All you got to do is rearrange it, get some cred, and you've got an article that you're not just sharing with me, you could share it with everybody. You've got a story there, man, so don't bother sharing it straight to me. Make the thing. I believe, based on what you've shared so far, you've got the imagination for it. Now you've just got to assemble the pieces, which admittedly is the hardest part, but the only way to begin is by beginning, so give it your best shot. This is the Dr. Sherman seal of approval of good luck. AutoTunes Entertainment, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a lemonade on your way past the commissary. Could a ghost recognize the bodies in the water? I am unfamiliar with the interaction of spectral anomalies and the SCP-2316 location. I have never heard of an experiment regarding that. So, 2316 ghosts. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. As far as I can tell, I would make my best hypothesis that ghosts are unaffected by the bodies in the water because they are not physical bodies. And it seems like you need to have a physical body to become one of the bodies in the water. That is just a hypothesis off of very little information, though. So maybe there's a tale on the wiki that clarifies this. But up until now, I don't have any intel on that front. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a Frito chili pie on your way past the commissary. Random thing. Do you know about Spider's Man? It is a Spider-Man made up of 6,000 spiders. Yes, this is canon. Yes, I am cursing you with the knowledge. You know, I recently became familiar with Spider's Man because someone told me about it here in chat. I was upset then, and I'm upset now. Onyx the Artist, thank you for donating again. All right, how do I become a researcher? Well, we hire the best of the best of the best, and so when you are the best of the best of the best in your field as a researcher, we'll come find you. Remember, at the Foundation, you don't call us, we call you. Orange Cloud, thank you for donating again. I'm glad you don't question why my office is the SCP researcher section. In that SCP researcher section. And I mean SCPs that do research for the Foundation. Well, what's the question? That's a very common situation. We just had to talk about how someone was trying to, on that Twitter thread that's the point of the description of the stream, people were like, oh, well, SCP-343 and SCP-105 are safe, and they're alive. First of all, let me actually right back at you there. 343, I am convinced, is anomalously affecting staff, and that's why it's marked as safe instead of Euclid. I mean, come on. A reality bender like that can come and go as it please, and it's a safe class? Bullshit is what I say to that. No, it is anomalously affecting people's minds into perceiving it as safe. That document is lying. Second of all, Iris, of all anomalies, Iris, we trusted enough to put on a mobile task force. So if that doesn't get you a loyalty to the Foundation amount of safe class, nothing does. And even then, it's a stretch. It's an exception. Razor the Reptile Worm, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a all-around good worm. Make sure to grab yourself a gelato on your way past the commissary. That I know, and yet as a precursor to us, we have no goddamn data. We have data of some of our 80s era systems still online, and yet those sites, there is zero, nada, zilch. And yet the Department of Abnormalities automatic system still runs. You are correct, that is quite frustrating to try and make it make sense. Most of their systems and their sites should have been disabled years ago, but especially the Panopticon. SCP, what is the Panopticon 2's data? 3790? No, it's not 3790. SCP Panopticon 2. 3220. 3220 is an underground bunker that contains something like 100 or so versions of SCP-173, all being held in containment. And so, hate that for us, but I'm glad that at least they haven't escaped yet. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I love SCP-3086. It is one of my favorites. Oh, well, thank you, Chaos Goblin Dogs. I appreciate that one of my SCPs is one of your favorites. I love George. He's a cute little guy. Even if it is terrifying when it levels up and takes over the world. Can you please explain SCP-999? Well, happy times. First and foremost, I have a whole video explaining SCP-3999 here on the channel. Sherm's Declassified Skip Survival Guide is the name of the old series. And one of the first episodes of Sherm's Declassified Skip Survival Guide is on SCP-3999. And so I've got a whole explainer, but to long story short is, the author of the article from the pataphysical layer above us was trying to enter an SCP writing contest and ended up using this researcher Talaran character in multiple drafts of stories, but always scrapping them because they didn't feel right. And in universe, that was researcher Talaran being ripped out of realities and put into new ones, and tortured and killed and reborn and shoved into other SCPs and shoved into the aristocrats joke and tortured until it finally stopped its own author from messing with it. So in that case, SCP-3999 is hella meta, and the way it's written and formatted is very House of Leaves, which I appreciate greatly. Or I should say it's slightly House of Leaves. It could be more House of Leaves. Lots of things could be more House of Leaves, and I would like them more. Raccoon Dog, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Grab yourself a nice hot slice of pizza pie on your way past the commissary. Hey, Dr. Shamawama. Thoughts on SCP-ES-101-J? Dr. Shamawama? Shamwow? Shawarma? There's so much going on there. Meanwhile, I'm not familiar with that anomaly, but I know Desk has conveniently pulled up the documentation for me, so let me take a peek. SCP-ES-101-J. Codename, the hard-to-open container. Object class safe, threat level pink. Classification given to objects that do not present a risk to the individuals exposed to it, but profoundly damage pride and call into question the physical capabilities of the exposed person. Oh my. SCP-ES-101-J is placed in the break room of Site-34. Members of the Applied Task Force Omega-99, codename Open the Fucking Jar, are allowed to make all attempts they deem necessary to open the object as long as they are acceptable to the project lead, Dr. Jacobo Merlin. All other activity or research will be suspended until the opening of SCP-ES-101-J under the direction of Site-34 Director, Dr. Jacobo Merlin. It is a glass jar containing mango marmalade, brand name redacted, with a net weight of 440 grams. The object is not physically different from other bottles of the same brand. The anomaly of SCP-ES-101-J consists in the fact that the lid of the object is fucking impossible to open. The fucking bitch won't open. Correction, has an abnormally high difficulty to be removed. I am already extremely annoyed by this article from the start. I find these kind of articles to be quite pleasant. I look forward to reading the rest myself, and you all should check it out as well, because it seems like that's a good preview of things to come. Hi, what are you doing? Well, the Radio Demon, we here are having a coffee break here at Site-42. I have opened my door to your questions about the SCP Foundation and its efforts, whether it be the anomalies we contain, the groups of interest who get mad at us for containing, the staff who does the containing, or hypothetical containment procedures for anomalies that aren't contained by the Foundation. I am here to answer your questions for the next 15 to 20 minutes before stream ends. The coffee break must come to a close eventually. Silent Follower, thank you for donating 2 more laughing corgis. Much obliged at your mirth at my seemingly, depending on the time, either entertainment or being of tortured. Jonathan, thank you for donating again. More bingo ideas. Does X recognize the bodies in the water? Does X activate 096? What would happen if you put X into 914? Excellent bingo card ideas. Yes, I agree. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. I talked Tony Stark into making me a suit made of Mysterium. I do not know what Mysterium is in the world of Marvel or in the world of whatever you are having. Mysterium is a unique metallic metametal formed by condensing Kerbons. Is that a Jack Kirby reference? And harvested from the White Hot Room. All right, so you have a... Is the suit for you, the Wolf Boy, or is it for Draco? Who's wearing the suit? And what is its purpose? Okay, let's get these two out of the way. What would happen if 096 and 682 got into a fight? We already tried that. The first time we put 096 in the room with 682, SCP-682 retracted all of its eyes from its body, so it had no eyes. That way it couldn't see 096's face, and therefore it didn't even activate. Once we eventually got 096 to attack 682, 682 regenerated at such a rate that 096 eventually gave up and had an emotional breakdown before needing to be returned to its cell. So 096 could not destroy 682, and 682, as mostly a defensive entity, did not try to destroy 096, it just tried to survive. Meanwhile, hey, who would win in a fight, 096 or 173? The only time that's ever happened, it was during a decommissioning attempt of 096, and before we let 173 go after 096, we dumped 096 in a vat of acid, and then shot it with a bunch of machine guns. And then, since 173 doesn't have eyeballs, it couldn't see 096's face, meaning that 096 didn't attack 173, but 173 kept snapping all its bones until eventually 096 was gone. These two experiments are on the wiki. You could have read these on your own, people. Jonathan, thank you for your first donation of today's stream. Grab yourself some Doritos on your way past the commissary. Dr. Sherman, what's it like being an SCP? Well, I certainly wouldn't know what it's like to be an SCP personally, because I am not an SCP. You'll notice no SCP articles are about good old Dr. Sherman. No, he's just a normal, non-anomalous human guy who works for the Foundation as a site director and containment specialist. That is all I am, a regular, non-anomalous site director, as is my pen, a regular and non-anomalous pen. These are all non-SCPs, non-anomalous as anything can be. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. It's for Chris the Dire Wolf Boy and to be the safest mobile task force captain. Well, it is important to be safe when you're in the field, so good luck with that. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I don't know if it's the way you explained it or the 420-J kicking in, but this is the first time SCP-3999 has completely clicked for me. First of all, you saw nothing. Second, I'm glad to hear it. 399 is a weird one from the inside, but especially if you liked my little quick explanation, go check out my old video. Deal with the sound quality is probably abysmal from back in the day, but bear with it because I had a lot to say about that article. It is one of my favorite SCPs, and it's really the first SCP video for the channel that really brought us into the mainstream of the SCP community. Before doing 3999, I did a reading of SCP-3043, Murphy Law. And that was the first Murphy Law article, before 3143, its actual article. And in that one, we went full bore. I got a bunch of voice actors. I did a radio play with sound effects and music. It was super cool. I still like that recording to this day. But after I did 3043, friend of the channel and SCP staff member and Site42 Discord moderator Yossi suggested I try and record 3999 as a challenge. And it is a crazy article, and I went nuts trying to record it, but I'm very proud of my recording of SCP-3999 even to this day. It took a lot of work to do that article, and while I was obsessing over the recording, I also fell in love with its format and all of its references. It has changed since I recorded it. That's a terrible thing about recording SCP sometimes, is authors are allowed to just go back and edit their work. And so the recording I have is of the SCP-3999 at the time, but the current iteration has changes to it. So just keep that in mind. Jonathan Peters, thank you for donating again. Idea, have you tried feeding SCP-7 to... No. Have you tried feeding that thing to the tree? It would definitely scream then. For some reason, the ethics committee is really hung up about me wanting to test those two anomalies together. I think it would work, because why wouldn't it? But the ethics committee is dragging their feet. It's really starting to tick me off. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. So is your office your containment room, or... This is the audiophonics lab. Note the sound insulating foam. It is an audiophonics lab. It is not a containment cell. I am not contained because I'm not an SCP. I don't know what part of this isn't clicking for you, intern Turner. Ice Bro, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some snow cones on your way past the commissary. You also saw nothing. Chester Factory, thank you for donating through the YouTube Super Chat this time. Much obliged. I saw something about the spinning pen breaking. Was that real or was it from a different reality? So, it depends. Yes, multiple realities, etc., etc. That, in my universe, that light-up spinning pen was several years ago, and in fact has long broken itself. We are now up to, I believe, Pen 15 here on the channel. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Have you ever heard of Enigma Force Spider-Man? Would you try containing it? I don't know what Enigma Force Spider-Man is. I've never heard of this. But I do know that we would contain it, because if it's anomalous, it goes in a box. That's all there is to it. Time check, Chester Factory. We are currently at the 10 to 20 minute mark on the time check. Desk. Go ahead and link both. Link the declassified survival guide of 3999 and link the reading. That way people can jump to it if they want to. Dr. Sherman, Murphy Law is dead and you can't deny it. I will never let you escape that fact. Murphy Lawden always comes back. I am not of the mind that Murphy will stay down. I live in my denial freely. SCP-007, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Go ahead and get yourself some juicy fruit on your way past the commissary. I never wanted to escape. All I asked for is an entertainment device. Well, let me look at your data entry on the database and see if you would deserve one. All right, well, it looks like you haven't been misbehaving recently, so yes, we can definitely get some entertainment budget your way. Just, I'll have Dr. Redacted bring you a request list during your next chess game, and you can fill out the kind of things you want. You know, they have to go through approval or not, but we'll see what we can do for you. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. I dare you to look up Enigma Force Spider-Man. I think you probably meant dare. Enigma Force Spider-Man. Enigma Force is a cosmic being originally used as a tool by the Beyonders via their concordance engines to help them maintain the universes within the multiverse. It acted as a god of light that purportedly originated when the universe was created as a reaction to the appearance of the dark god Null, to whom it was diametrically opposed, foes. For billions of years, the god of light waged a war against its opposite, so yes, very Avatar Korra vibes. Enigma for powers, memories, and costume of Captain Universe. The partner can use the powers of Captain Universe until the peril is surmounted. If the partner tries to use the powers for personal gain or evil, the unipower immediately deserts them. So, yeah. I hate that. A lot. I would still want to contain it, but I'm not sure we could pull it off. But I'd be damned if I didn't try. Definitely going to go listen to SCP-399 after the stream. Out of curiosity, have you considered re-recording it since it's been updated and or for audio quality? I wouldn't leave it out of the question. I have done remasters before. That's just a beast of an article. But I do have Charles on the audio editing side now, and I didn't have Charles in the past. I used to do all the recording and editing myself. And so having a new editor there to bring some new art thoughts to it could be fun. Could be fun. I might think about that. Jonathan Peters, thank you for donating again. How would you contain the events of Emmesis Blue? Well, I've heard the name, but I've never looked into Emmesis Blue before, so... Emmesis Blue is a film. Oh, this I just saw... I think I just saw the film theorist cover this, right? Psychological horror. Several events involving a respawn machine. So obviously, first thing we do is contain the respawn machine. Lock that off. We would have to lock anybody who came out of it in containment cells and run tests on them. That would be our main move there. It seems pretty simple, actually. O51, thank you for donating again. So since there are going to be internet censorship in Europe soon if Germany falls, aka chat control, I'm boosting my work on my BBS bulletin board systems, and I need names. Any idea to stay in SCP universe? I need more intel on your BBS systems before I can name anything. I'm not quite sure how that's going to help you when it comes to the whole internet censorship thing, which, oh boy, here we go again with internet censorship causing a mess all over the internet. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. So you broke containment is what you're saying. You can't break containment if you were never contained in the first place. Honent, good to see you in the chat. It's been a while. Thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself some spare ribs on your way past the commissary. How would THR 1000 Earth Mover from Ultrakill possibly be contained? It's massive. Plus it has weapons to counter almost every approach to it. Alright, I remember Ultrakill is the one with the robot that drinks blood to heal itself. Earth Mover. So it looks to be... a large machine. Defense systems. I mean, this would have to be a job for SCP-5514, codename the Dragon Slayer, if anything. How else do you fight a giant robot than with another giant robot? This is the kind of thing where, like, sometimes an entity like Siren Head, where it's massive, if we wanted to contain it, we could cordon off the woods where it resides so that people can't get in. But for something this massive and so offensive on the attack, we would need to partner with the Global Occult Coalition and try to decommission it / neutralize it. Unfortunate, but that's the way some anomalies have to be. Ice Bro, thank you for donating again. Someone took the awesome forklift and is currently on the run, sips coffee. Anyway, I'm going to read the 055. It's a really good book. What is the 055? I've never read such a book. Meanwhile, the awesome forklift. Is that an anomaly we have in containment that I don't know about? SCP awesome forklift. The big orange forklift, SCP-708. Orange Toyota model Series 7 forklift with a typical lift capacity of 8 metric tons. It was purchased by Redacted on July 13th. Redacted. Upon maintaining visual contact with SCP-708 for more than 20 seconds, all subjects are rendered into a state of enthusiasm. These subjects will exclaim joyous remarks relating to riding the big orange forklift, not unlike a child. This is often accompanied by high-frequency sounds and hopping up and down as a child in an excited temperament would. Due to the reported annoying effect of these actions, many researchers are compelled to allow the subject to board and operate 708. If a subject is engaged in operating 708, and those who were previously compelled to operate it, and those who maintain visual contact with the object, report feeling jealousy, wishing to remove the current operator and ride it themselves. People with a violent past express the urge to eradicate anything immediately obvious to them using the forklift. Subjects with no violent past express a desire to lift all objects that they notice. This occurs in order from lightest to heaviest weight. No fuel has been added to the vehicle since the Foundation's acquisition, yet still drives. It feeds off the driver's enthusiasm, possibly. Well, I suggest A, that we get it back in containment and get whoever's driving it out of it. I did not ever, this is the first time I'm ever hearing about the big orange forklift. So that's pretty cool. I'm learning about some SCPs today. Soul Hunter, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Get yourself an ice-cool glass of melonade on your way past the commissary. Someone took the awesome forklift that is currently on the run. Oh, that was you. You already did that. Did someone else mention it? Oh no, I read your question for Ice Bro. My bad, Ice Bro. I'm back to your question now. What would happen if a D class started to exhibit anomalous abilities like the ability to respawn? Well, then we would either keep using them in tests, because that's a very valuable asset, or we would classify them as an SCP and contain and test on them that way. Either way, they're not going anywhere. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. Got it. We need a containment crew at Dr. Sherman's office. I see no need for a containment crew in my vicinity. There are no anomalies to contain in my office right now that I know of. Is there something in here? Do I need to be worried? O51, thank you for donating again. Well before the internet, there was BBSs. Look back at the BBSs for more info, and it used tech that was forgotten and no longer subject to internet scanning and censorship because it is unfeasible to scan without cutting the web. I did not know that BBSs... I did know about BBSs. I am an old. I have been around since the beginning of the internet. But I did not realize that they were no longer subject to being scanned. Interesting. So then, yes, I would believe... I would want to start using a code that could be replicated. Something like SCP-BBS-USA-1. That way, you've got, it's an SCP database, it is a BBS database, it is a location-based server system, and then numerical designation. That sounds like how we at the Foundation would do such a thing, if we had to log off in that way. Hey there, Dr. Sherman. Are there any mushroom-based SCPs? Hey, SCP Site 42 chat. Do any of you guys remember a certain fungal hive mind SCP's numerical designation? Because I remember that one after having a 20-minute end of stream crash out trying to remember it. The question is, do you remember the number? And give it up to senior researcher Frogman for bringing up SCP-8123. 8123, Autophobia, the string section. That is your mushroom SCP for the day. Mushroom, you're welcome. Raccoon Dog, thank you for donating again. Is Site-42 special compared to other sites? Any reason of preference? So Site-42's unique classification ability is that it rests upon... Alright, so there's two different universes for this. In Universe 1, Site-42 is special because it is upon a dimensional way. That's a capital W way. And so, because of its location to this place of interdimensional travel, it is used as a transfer site by the Foundation for Anomalies, which is why so many SCPs come through Site-42 visiting en route to their next destination. So that is one reason why Site-42 in some canons is special. A second, and not mutually exclusive reason Site-42 in particular is special, is because it is the broadcast hub for Foundation operations. Broadcast and archival hub. So we have the archives of physical documentation, we digitize it, we put it to audio logs, that way there's no way the data can get lost. As well, we run PR for the Foundation and the Broken Masquerade, as well as other broadcasts. Now, Foundation After Midnight Radio is from a different site, but they are a unique exception to the rule. And finally, in some universes, the reason that every Dr. Sherman Site-42 TikTok and YouTube short has all the characters played by Dr. Sherman, whether they are a Dr. Clef or a Dr. Sherman or a D-Class or a UIU agent or a Shark Punching Center agent, is because inside Site-42, any human being who walks into the building automatically becomes a Dr. Sherman clone. And specifically, it's either, I forget the exact mechanics of that anomaly, it's either when you walk into the site, you become Dr. Sherman, or if you make physical contact with one of the Dr. Sherman clones, you turn into a Dr. Sherman. And specifically, you turn into Dr. Theron Sherman, age 37, and 217 days. It's very specific. And the person who transformed is essentially gone. And so only that exact clone of Dr. Sherman now exists. And so in that universe, don't go to Site-42. It's bad for your health. You will die and become a Dr. Sherman. And so that's a whole can of worms in that universe that I don't like having to deal with. So Dr. Chair becomes Dr. Charon Sherman. Well, Desk, as far as I know, Dr. Chair is immune to the effect, being a chair. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Drake is hiding under your desk playing hide and seek. Well, once I'm done with this stream in about 12 minutes, then we are going to be... I'm going to need my office back, so you better get Drake out of there before then, because I have work to do. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. I knew it. Dr. Sherman is an SCP. Hey, I am not an SCP. Notice that all of that stuff I just talked about, none of it's in an SCP document. Even in universes where I am anomalous, which I am not here, but in universes where I am for some reason, still not an SCP. Ha! So that would explain why some people think you're an anomaly. Well, it's more like affected by an anomaly instead of being anomalous, that Dr. Sherman's self. Dr. Sherman, what happened to 682 and 096 fought? Intern V, we already answered that during this stream. You're going to want to go back in the stream and find it. Sherman, the likes. Oh, the likes are above the view count. 216 likes to 205 viewers. Congratulations, Site-42's Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codenamed the Signal Boosters, on your great success overdoing the likes against the views. The algorithm will truly reward us with more SCP fam thanks to your efforts. Signal Boosters, Keep up the good work. Is SCP-096 naked or not? Yes, but why does that matter? I feel like that's far less important than the seeing its face causes it to maul you to death thing. I feel like you're missing the forest for the trees here. The murderous trees. Anna, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a loaded baked potato on your way past the commissary. Anna, hey Doc, Anna here. Just wanted to ask what is the correct feature adaptation of SCP-953, aka the Kitsune? I'm trying to draw them. Well, wait a minute. First of all, is not 953 not a Kitsune? 953, if you call 953 a Kitsune, it will maul you so fast because it is not a Kitsune. It is very specifically a Kumiho, to my knowledge. Oh, don't zoom out, geez. Control F. Kumiho. Yes, I am correct about that. It is not a Kitsune, and if you say that anywhere near it, it will maul you. So be careful. It is a Kumiho, which is an entirely different entity. Meanwhile, Type 4 containment cell, direct human contact, female red fox, polymorphic properties, most commonly forms as an attractive Korean female. Subject will display some vulpine aspects such as ears, tail, paw, fur, voice, mannerisms in all its alternate forms. So yes, because it's polymorphic, it actually doesn't have a set form. So whatever you draw it as, that's what it could be. Chris the Dire Wolfboy, thank you for donating again. Till Desk or someone writes an SCP article on you. Well, Desk has some writing collaboration ideas between the Desk and Dr. Sherman, but that's for future, when completed, to talk about. Don't want to spoil the secrets, you know. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. So if we don't look at SCP-096's face, devil smiley face. What does that mean? What does devil smiley face mean here? What is the context? Do not fraternize with the anomalies. I'm on to you. Frickin' weirdos. Logan Lala, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Make sure to grab yourself some beef jerky on your way past the commissary. Is there a redneck mobile task force? A redneck mobile task force? I don't... First of all, many soldiers that we get in the American South for mobile task forces probably will be some form of redneck just by association of the region. But that being said, I don't know that I would pick out any particular mobile task force as the redneck one. Nor does the database refer to any as the redneck one. So that's going to be a question of your interpretation of their actions. Grim, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a cappuccino on your way past the commissary. Sarn Zero, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a cold brew on your way past the commissary. Asteroid 2024 YR4 is going to hit the moon December 22nd, 2032, causing a global disaster. Can the SCP Foundation do anything? Well, obviously the Foundation has things we can do about it, but the question is, will the civilian science organizations be able to handle it first? We don't want to put our resources to it if we don't have to, and sometimes they can get the job done, so fingers crossed it's not something we have to deal with. It's not exactly anomalous. It's not within our purview. Hello, Dr. Sherman. Haven't started, but I'm planning to create a live-action SCP series called SCP Day in the Life. Each episode is based around a day in the life of a different kind of SCP staff member. Well, Avery, I like the concept. I would like to see what you make of that. Even as a TikTok series, that sounds very interesting. And a combination of a new person character and to attach to, and then an anomaly they're dealing with, that could be a fun series. But yes, make it! Make it and tell me more when you've made it. Desk has informed me through the back channels that he has thought of a redneck mobile task force example. That mobile task force example, Mobile Task Force Lambda 2, codename Dr. Clef's Bisexual Stripper Assassin Squad. As seen in the tale, What's in a Name on the SCP database, which means yes, it is canon. Anna, thank you for donating again. Okay, I just wanted to know, I'm used to calling them a kitsune due to me and Pinky being from Japan. Yes, and they are a Korean entity, not a Japanese entity, and they are very touchy on the subject. So please correct your parlance quickly before you get in trouble. And by in trouble, I mean dead. Logan Lala, thank you for donating again. How would the Foundation deal with a redneck anomaly? Well, I mean, we're the force that keeps Cotton Eye Joe from coming back. So where did it come from? Where did it go? Doesn't matter as long as it's not here. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. Oh, Dr. Sherman, you know what the devil sign means. I know what it means and you're annoying me with it. Stop trying to fraternize with the anomalies. Everyone loses it for a skinny white guy, I swear to God. Onyx, thank you for donating again. In Neon Genesis Evangelion, would the Evas be considered SCPs? Well, if they existed in the SCP universe, then yes. But since they don't have SCP articles about them, they are anomalous, but not SCPs. And we would have to deal with them if they existed in our universe, yes. All right, everyone. It is currently the end of stream wind down o'clock. And so as always, at the end of stream, I tell you guys my favorite SCPs, a whole list of them. Now, I'm not going to tell you that my favorite SCPs are the ones I wrote. That would be cheating. Of course, I love the SCP documents I wrote. They are very thorough and well characterized. But if you do want to read those SCP documents that I myself wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page and Site 42 Hub on the SCP Wiki. There you can see all the SCPs I wrote, as well as contributed to via voice lines or sound effects, other things like that. And on the next tab over, you'll find some support links. You can follow us on all of our social medias, Twitter, Blue Sky, Threads, wherever you are, we try to be. You can also become a donor in one of many fashions. You can become a monthly donator through the Site 42 Patreon or the Site 42 YouTube channel memberships. You can do singular donations through Ko-Fi or YouTube Super Chats. However you choose to donate financially, me and the Site 42 staff greatly appreciate your help in our cause. Now, even if you can't donate, and let's be fair, we've all been broke gang once in a while, especially with the way things are going these days. But even if you are broke gang, as long as you are here in the chat, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, chatting, all that YouTube business, then you are a member of Mobile Task Force Psi-42, codename The Signal Boosters. And with your help, we will make the YouTube algorithm bring us people into the SCP fandom so they can help us support the SCP Wiki and its authors and its artists and filmmakers, game devs, animators, anybody who wants to make SCP stuff. It's our job to help them do it, because the more that people get support, both attention-wise and financially, the more they'll come back to SCP. We're a creative writing community is not what I meant to say. We're a Creative Commons community, which means that Amazon, Netflix, all them will never touch us because they can't completely own the IP. So it's up to us to do it ourselves, people, and I appreciate Mobile Task Force Psi-42's service in this matter. You can't stop the signal, Mao. Damn right, desk. Damn right. That is a shiny quote you got right there. Now, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on the last one, it is a rough read. Speed round, 3999-3043-008-J, Spooky-J, 5031, 5175, 5320, and 8980. Content warning on the last one, it's a rough read. Last minute donos before we close out. Montana, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Get yourself a French toast on the way past the commissary. Has anyone ever tried to have a relationship with an SCP, and if so, what was the outcome? While I can't remember the documents where such a thing has happened, it hasn't gone well. Usually they die because the anomaly kills them or we terminate them. Do not fraternize with the anomalies. Chris the Dire Wolf Boy, thank you for donating again. Drake is now taking a nap in your office. Well, I'm gonna have to wake Drake up so I can get to work. Jonathan Turner, thank you for donating again. I'm a skinny white guy. You're really working my last nerve. I'm this close to demoting you to D-class, Turner. All right. Everybody, this is the end of our coffee break with Dr. Sherman. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video and or stream. Welcome to your life. There's no turning back. Even while we sleep, we will find you acting on your best behavior. Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to rule the world. I'm being told I missed a donation. Yes, Senior Researcher Frogman. Thank you for your very much the last minute donation. Y'all can fraternize with the anomalies. Clip that. I said you cannot. I did not say you can. I said do not do that. No, 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 no. And the credit song is Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. Yes, Amber. Enjoy it. Kogasa Tatara, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to staff. Goodbye, end credits is over. Over!